الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Nahmadullah ta'ala wa nastaghfiruhu wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa nashhadu anna Sayyidina Muhammadan abduhu wa habibuhu wa rasuluh sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa azwajihi wa ashabihi tabi'in khulafa'ir rashidin mahdin min ba'di. Wa salamat ala tahqiq khususan min alamati khulafa rasul ala tahqiq Umar al-Mu'minin Hazretleri Abu Bakr, Umar, Osman wa Ali wa ala baqiyat sahabat tabi'in ridwanullah ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun hazirun ittaqullah ta'ala wa ati'uh inna allaha ma'al ladhina taqaw wal ladhina hum muhsinun. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammadin wa ala alihi sahbihi ajma'in. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who is the most beneficent, the most merciful, the master of the day of judgment. All praises are due to Allah, who has created Bani Adam in ahsani taqwim, the most perfect form. All praises are due to Allah, who has sent Sayyidina Rasulullah ﷺ as the Rahmatul lil Alameen. And may all peace and blessings be upon the owner of the Maqam al-Mahmud, the intercessor of the day of judgment, the helper of the helpless, the most noble in creation, the Imam of the two sanctuaries, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the rightly guided Khalifas, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar al-Faruq, Hazreti Osman al-Ghani, and Hazreti Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. O believers, welcome to you in this holy day of Jummah, in the holy month of Allah, Shahrul Rajab. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban wa balikna Ramadan. Ameen. O believers, we have reached to the 12th day of this holy month. Almost half of this month is gone from us. What have we done with our time? How have we used our time? The Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, mankind will remain standing on the day of resurrection until he is asked about four things: his life and how he spent it, his youth and how he used it up, his property and how he acquired it and managed it, and his knowledge and how he used it. And Hazreti Hassan ibn Ali radiallahu anh is saying, opportunity is something which is quick to disappear and very late to return. O believers, this opportunity of Rajab, it is a great opportunity. It is an opportunity for us to plant seeds that we can take care of during Shaban, that will give fruit during Ramadan, that will benefit us for the entire year. We must take care not to waste our time in these holy days and nights that we are passing through. We must make it different. We must keep it holy, because we're going to be asked about it on the Judgment Day. And as Hazretleri Hassan is saying, this opportunity, this month of Rajab, we're going to turn left and right and find it has passed us. And we do not have any guarantee that we will reach to the next Rajab. O believers, put the proper value to these days and nights so that we are not regretful in the next life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in Surah Al-Mulk, BismillahirRahmanhirRahim, that He created death and life, that He may try which of you is best indeed. And in Surah Al-Muhammad, He is saying, BismillahirRahmanhirRahim, and we shall try you until we test those among you who strive their utmost and persevere in patience. And we shall test your record. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also saying, do men think that they will be left alone on saying, we believe, and that they will not be tested? We did test those before them, and Allah will certainly know those who are true from those who are false. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying in this hadith Shareef, whenever Allah wills good for a person, He makes him to go through difficulties. In another hadith Shareef, He is saying, ﷺ, the most in their suffering among the people are the prophets, then the best, then the next best. One is tested in accordance with his faith. If his faith is firm, his tests are hard. And if his faith is weak, his test is light. O believers, what are these Ayatul Karimah? What are these Hadith Shareef saying to us? What is the message that is coming to us? For an intelligent man, he must understand that these verses of the Quran and these sayings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ are pointing to one truth. One, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created mankind to be tested. And those who claim to be believers, they are going to be tested. And the tests that come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are a blessing to a man. As the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests a person when He wants good for that person. In other words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing those ones whom He loves. If we are claiming to be believers, we should prepare ourselves to be tested. How are we going to prepare for this test? We must look and learn from the lives and experiences of those who were tested before us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful and is giving us so much help that He has sent the Quran Karim as a history book of those beloved to Him that were tested. But today's 21st century Muslims, they don't look at the history part of the Quran. In these times, Muslims are looking to the Quran only to twist and change its words to justify their wrong lifestyles. But that Holy Quran, it is a history book too. And is giving the stories of those who came before so that we can look at how they were tested, how they passed their tests. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Holy Quran, narrate unto them the history so that maybe they will make tafakkur. Maybe they will reflect. O believers, 25 prophets are mentioned openly in the Holy Quran. And all 25 of their histories are there for us to learn from. Don't fall into the tricks and traps of 21st century thinking. The Holy Quran is not an allegory or fairy tales. It is real. It is history. Adam alayhi salam was really in paradise and came down. Nuh alayhi salam was really on the ship and had to pass through the flood. Ibrahim alayhi salam really was thrown into the fire of Nimrud, and that fire became a garden. Musa alayhi salam, in reality, he really split the sea with his cane through Allah's permission. And Isa alayhi salam really raised dead from the dead and was raised to the paradises. This is real. This is more than real. This is more than real than the lives that you and I, they are living. Because those incidents happen by those who are living and dying and breathing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should look at the tests that they went through. We should sit and we should understand. We should try to put ourselves in that situation and ask ourselves sincerely, if I was put in that situation, would I pass that test? In this month of Rajab, Nuh alayhi salam and the believers, they entered into the ship. And they were on the waters until the day of Ashura, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused them to land. O believers, do you know what Nuh alayhi salam went through? Nuh alayhi salam, he was a prophet coming right after Adam alayhi salam. Nuh alayhi salam's father was Lamik, whose father was Idris alayhi salam, whose father was Shis alayhi salam, whose father was Adam alayhi salam, who was created directly by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And still the people of Nuh alayhi salam were disobedient. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Nuh alayhi salam as a prophet to his people. And Nuh alayhi salam called his people to Siratul Mustaqim. As our Shaykh is telling us the story of Nuh alayhi salam, saying, he went back to them thousands and thousands of times, hundreds of years. Not 1 year, not 50 years, not 100 years, but 600, 700 years, non-stop going back and forth to them and asking them, turn back to your Lord. Leave this egoistic lifestyle. Turn to your Lord. They said, who are you to tell us? What is it that you are going to tell us? We are going to live as we like. We're going to do just like the people in Akhir Zaman. There's something open to them. They have seen. They do as they like. We're going to do as we like. You are not going to tell us what to do. They cursed at him. They beat him. They threw him away. He went back to them because Nuh alayhi salam was seeing what's waiting for them. If they don't come back, they didn't listen. And finally, he was fed up with them. He opened his hand once, saying, Ya Rabbi, do not leave one of them on the face of the earth who is disobedient to you. Just one dua. Right away a response came to him, I accept it. Prepare the ship. Last safety to those ones. Call them to come here. Those who are coming in, that is the safety to them. He prepared the ship. They didn't listen again. He was saying, oh, children of Adam, I know what I did. I know what I asked, and I know what's coming to you. Don't be heedless. Come around. There's nothing I can do anymore. They said, you lost your mind. The world is so beautiful. You lost your mind. You went on top of the mountain and built a ship. How stupid man you are. His own children, his own wife, disobedient to him. He is crying for them, but they are not caring. Their ego is wild until the last order came to him. No more calling. Whoever came to the ship, shut the door now. He is screaming to his own son, come in. Allah said, leave that one out too. He is your son, but he is our servant. We have created that one. He became from the unbelievers. Leave that one out. He shut the doors. The whole mankind finished on the face of the earth except those ones who found safety in that ship. O believers, that is a test. To be rejected by your nation for 950 years. To be building that huge ship. And for all mankind to ridicule you and call you crazy. For your son, for your wife to reject you. For you to know and see the punishment that is coming for all of creation, and for them not to wake up. But Nuh alayhi salam passed his test, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praising him in the Holy Quran, saying, BismillahirRahmanhirRahim, O descendants of those we carried in the ship with Nuh, indeed, he was a grateful servant. Another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, BismillahirRahmanhirRahim, in the days of old, Nuh cried to us, and we are the best to hear prayer. And we delivered him and his people from the great calamity and made his descendants to endure on this earth. And we left this blessing for him among generations to come in later times. Peace and salutation to Nuh among the nations. O believers, that test of Nuh alayhi salam, it is coming again to this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed the Holy Prophet ﷺ that the punishment is going to come again in the Akhir Zaman. As our Shaykh is saying, Holy Prophet ﷺ said, I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Rabbi, do not punish my nation the same way that you have punished through the flood of Nuh alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised me, saying to me, I am not punishing your nation that way. But your nation is going to be so disobedient when you are physically removed from them, they will turn back to their unbelief ways of lifestyle. They are going to run after the Yahudi and the Christians step by step, and they are going to invent a fire. They are going to burn themselves with that fire. The flood of fire is going to happen to them. That flood of fire is about to happen. Those who are seeing are screaming and crying, saying, come back, turn around, whatever you are, leave your egoistic way of lifestyle. Go to sajda, ask forgiveness, you may find safety. There is no other safety. The flood of fire is about to happen. Mankind is running still wild, just like the people of Nuh alayhi salam. And this is going to take the whole globe. The whole world is going to sink in it. No safety. Safety only comes with those people that they are protected and they are holding tightly to the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet ﷺ is saying to us, safety at that time is my Ahlul Bayt. Run to them. Be around them. They are like the ship of Nuh. You are going to find safety. There is no other safety. O believers, we must wake up and understand that a test is going to come to us. If we want to be called believers, we're going to be tested like the believers were tested. We did not even speak about the test of our Holy Prophet ﷺ, who had the most severe test, but the test is going to come to us. And the question is whether or not we are going to pass the test. And those who passed the test, they passed only by sticking tightly and not deviating from the way of those ones that were sent to them as guides by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. O believers, we have a guide. We have a grandson of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in front of us. He is our ship of Nuh. Do not let him go. Otherwise, when the test comes, when the flood comes, we are going to be burnt and washed away. O believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking to us, to our situation that we are in the Holy Quran, saying, BismillahirRahmanhirRahim. And say not of those who are slain in the way of Allah, they are dead. No, they are living, although you perceive it not. Be sure we shall test you with something of fear and hunger, some loss in goods or lives or the fruits of your toil, but give glad tidings to those who patiently persevere, who say, when afflicted with calamity, to Allah we belong, and to Him is our return. They are those on whom blessings from Allah will descend, and mercy, and they are the ones that receive guidance. O believers, in this holy month, in these holy days, make sincere intention to be among those that live, that die, that breathe for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of His Holy Prophet ﷺ, for the sake of their friends, for the sake of our Shaykh. That time, inshallah, we will pass the test and we will be in safety. Astaghfirullah, 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 la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد على كل شيء قدير. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد على كل شيء قدير. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد على كل شيء قدير. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح. إن دين عند الله الإسلام. قام الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن Muhammed Resulullah. Hayyâle selâ, hayyâle selâ, hayyâle felâ, hayyâle felâ. Ve digâme selâtu ve digâme selâ. Allahu ekber, Allahu ekber, la ilahe illallah.